I want to do a talk on ProFounder and what my experiences have been so far. The overall idea of ProFounder, let me summarize how it works, is that it's really a tool that allows you to raise money through your close network of friends and associates. Ultimately, in order to solicit funds based on the SEC, I think it's 504D, Unregistered Solicitations Act or whatever, you can read about it. I'll make a correction, I'm probably wrong with that, is that you don't have to file to raise a certain amount of investments from friends and family. So, and really what ProFounder is trying to do is to basically leverage that aspect of the law. Now, a couple things, problems there is A, it's extremely hard to, police that. And even if you read ProFounder and some of the descriptions and stuff, they use the word community. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't think you have significant relationship with people in your community. So there are some gray lines there, and they're definitely walking that path. With that said, I really like what they're doing because they're actually providing you that, in a way, a framework that in the past did not exist for you to raise money with your immediate friends, okay, and associates and people who know you, have well-established or established relations, okay? So the way it works is this: you set up basically an ask, which is pretty simple to set up. Once you set that up, they approve it, they look it over, and they charge you $100. And they give you an option to charge you up to $1,000, an option, as it reads in their thing, to administer the ask and do the paperwork and everything else associated with it. Now, a couple problems here. Number one is they hide the fact that it's $100 a month, and that unless you read through the fine details, and it's not obvious on the page, and guess what, I didn't know, until I, like, well, you gotta read the FAQ. Who reads an FAQ? So in order for you to understand the billing cycle, you have to read through the entire FAQ, because even when it talks about the costing structure, it doesn't mention that it's $100 a month. Now, you have to understand, $100 a month to a guy who has an idea and doesn't know if it's fundable is a lot of money to ask, especially, to a person, $100 a month is considerable, especially if you've got wife and kids that are demanding that. Now, the other thing is, I think that it's unrealistic to think that you're going to go and ask someone money and give them a month to make a decision, on that. And ultimately, that's what it comes down to, is that there's some pressure there, it feels like, on the entrepreneur to raise that money in 1 month. Two, it isn't very clear when you sign up that that's going to be the case. And you really have to kind of dig through and understand and read the information. So I think 1 month is in a way ridiculous, personally. I think 90 days or 60 days is too short. I think 90 days would be a lot better per cycle. And the thing is too, they keep charging the $100. Now my question is, why does it keep costing you $100? What is that $100? Obviously it's a revenue stream for ProFounder, that entrepreneurs are going to keep paying $100 per month to raise the money. Whereas you go to Grow VC and you're going to spend, maybe $40 a month, or $25 a month for the same kind of service. So I'm not sure. I don't buy into it. Is what I'm saying. So I like the idea. I don't like the monthly charge. In essence, that's something that I realize is, if you think it's, I'm looking to raise $500,000 now. $500,000, $1,200 out of $500,000 is nothing in the scope of things. The question I have is, I don't know if I can raise $500,000. So really, Profounder is what they're saying is that this service is really for those individuals or those startups. It's really geared at those startups that already have significant traction, right? And are, you know, and really what Profounder is doing is basically providing you the template for those folks that maybe already have seed funding lined up and other things, and they really want to cap it off, right? And the other thing that I like about Profounder is really they do a revenue sharing. They don't give away any equity in the company, which is kind of nice in the sense that says, if you support this project for X amount of years, you know, for 3 years, we'll pay you revenue profits back for those 3 years or 1 year, whatever, in return for that investment. So I wanted, for example, in my case, for my friends, family, and the people I know, is really offer them an opportunity to get an 80% of the revenue that is generated, because really, you know, the model that FoundUps have is 80%, only 20% goes to FoundUp anyway. So for the first 3 years, we give 80% to our investors, right, instead of to the sponsors and stuff that I had originally planned. Anyway, so I have mixed feelings. I don't like the fact that it's not clear on Profounder. I do like the fact that they do kind of provide a solution for startups. And I think that they need to make that the billing a lot more clear right up front. It needs to be on the basically $100 per 30-day funding cycles. And I think they're going to find a lot of folks are going to bark at that. Maybe not a lot, but folks in my shoes where I don't know if I can raise the money to, because me, I could spend a year, 2 years, 3 years throwing money at this, $100 a month. That's a lot of money, that I can be using building product or other things. Paying for patents and other things like that, paying for IP. So something to consider.